Hey there everyone, just doing a review for the Fanttik EVO 300 portable power station. And so yeah, let's just go ahead and start taking a look at the box real quick right here. This is the box that the power station comes in, and just tells you a few specifications right there. I really like the aesthetic that they're going for, which is, you know, the yellow and the gray, or the yellow and the black. It works well. And so on this side, you do get a product overview in terms of recharging options and a few labels for the functional components that the power station has at the front right here and at the back. And we're going to be going over this with the power station as well in a second. And over on this side, you do get a comparison chart comparing a power station between a gasoline generator. It does say a solar generator versus a traditional generator. I wouldn't really classify this as a generator. It's just like, you know, a mini power station. But yeah, it just tells you the comparison between the two. And over here you do get a few specifications in terms of the output, weight, dimensions, and you do get what's included in the box. We're going to be going over this in a second as well. And over on this side, this power station does not come with a 100-watt solar panel that Fanttik does sell separately. But I do have the solar panel, and I'll be showing you guys that solar panel a little later on in the review. Just something to know that this power station does not come with the solar panel. That is sold separately. All right, it does tell you a few ways that you can use the power station right there, which is nice. And yeah, that is the box for the power station. And in terms of what's included in the box, so you do get a car charging cable, a USB-C to USB-C charging cable, an AC charging brick, the manual, and also you do get a small pouch that you can use to place all these accessories into, and basically makes it easier to have portability with all the accessories in case you're going to be traveling with them. And yeah, just a nice pouch to place everything into. All right, and let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Fanttik EVO 300 power station. All right, so the Fanttik EVO 300 power station has a 300 watt max output along with a 299.52 watt hour power capacity. Why they didn't just make it a 300 watt hour power capacity, I do not know, but they definitely should have. But with that said, it is a small power station because it has a 9.8 by 6 by 9 inch form factor, and the power station weighs 8.8 pounds. The height of the power station is 9 inches because it's counting the handle at the top, just so you know. So yeah, anyways, it's a really portable power station because this handle, I love this handle. I know a lot of power stations use foldable handles, but this type of handle that's fixed is great because look at that. It's just because the handle doesn't move around, you can just more easily just, you know, have more freedom with how you carry the power station instead of having a handle that's foldable and it just moves around, and it just kind of gets awkward with a foldable handle. But this type of handle is going to be a lot more easier to hold, in my opinion. I find it easier because just moving it around just like that, it's just so easy. That 8.8 pound weight isn't heavy at all. You can realistically take this with you nearly anywhere, in comparison to those higher capacity power stations that, you know, can weigh up to 40 pounds, 50 pounds. Those aren't the types of power stations that you're going to be able to hold for a very long time, but this one is going to do you well when it comes to holding it for a long duration of time. All right, so taking a look at the front of the power station right here, so you do get this pretty large screen. When you press the display button, you can turn it on, and so it shows the battery capacity remaining, which is 80% currently. It also shows the output and input wattage, as well as the estimated time remaining to use the power station right here when you're using the any of the output ports. Oh, but one of the negative things about the display is that it does turn off quickly, so you have to keep pressing the display button to turn it back on. That is one of the biggest negatives about the display. But also you do get the estimated time remaining when you're recharging the power station. You know, that's just the estimated recharge time right there as well. All right, and so the other two buttons are for the DC section. You press the DC button, it turns on these all these ports right here, and also shows up on the screen to show that it's turned on. And once you press the AC button, it also shows up on the screen, and so the AC outlets are ready to use right there. Oh, and also shows the remaining usage time right there as well, which is 99.9 hours because we're not using the power station right now. And so yeah, you can just press them again to turn off the sections, And so right here with the DC section, you do get a cigarette lighter port right here. And yeah, that's the cigarette lighter port. And you do get two DC 5521 ports. And for the charging ports right here, you're getting a 60 watt USB-C power delivery port along with a standard USB-C 15 watt port. This is a USB-A quick charge 3.0 port, and this one is a 12 watt standard USB-A port. So pretty nice port selection, I'd say. I wish they made it a 100 watt USB-C power delivery port, because that's mostly the standard at this point. So you are going to be able to charge most USB-C chargeable laptops, and we're going to be testing out this section in just a moment. But yeah, it's a decent one. Just wish they made this one a 100 watt port. But yeah, anyways, so this is the two AC outlets. They're both 3-pronged, so you can plug in most appliances. But are you gonna be able to power most appliances with this power station? Probably not. It only has a 300 watt output. Remember, you guys, this is a minimal power station, so quell your expectations. But yeah, two AC outlets. That's a pretty good selection for a 300 watt power station. All right, and let's just go ahead and take a quick look around for the power station. Over on this side, you do get a vent for the internal fan. I love the design for the vent because of that yellow and that honeycomb design. It just, like, when you look at the power station from this side, it just looks great. Over on this side at the back, you do get two input ports. One input port is for the AC charging brick that comes with the power station. This is the Anderson port that can be used to recharge the power station using a solar panel, and we're going to be using this port in just a second as well. And so this is the flashlight at the back. Pretty big flashlight. It has a you just press the button right here to turn it on. This is the low setting for the flashlight. Press it again, it turns to high. Press it one more time and you get a SOS mode. Yeah, pretty decent flashlight, I gotta say. Really bright. Yeah. Okay, over on this side, yeah, just another vent for the internal fan. Same honeycomb design. Got that yellow. And of course, at the top, as you've seen us using, the handle. Really well built handle. I love it. It doesn't move at all. And yeah. And at the bottom, let's go and take a look at the bottom. Oh my gosh. Okay. You do get these rubber pads that prevent the power station from actually touching the floor. And yeah, that's about it right there. Alright, you guys, so we're going to start testing out the charging ports right here. I'll try to find devices that I can use for the DC ports if I can. But for the most part, just like any other power station, these ports are going to be the least used right here, the DC 5521 ports and the cigarette lighter port. But yeah, we're going to start testing out the charging ports and see how they perform, and then we're going to move on to testing out the AC outlets, and let's get to it. Alright everybody, so I've got all the charging ports being used, and so I've got a Lenovo laptop charging from the 60 watt USB-C power delivery port, and the laptop is currently charging at 23 watts, so that's great. Basically the laptop's charging at its max speed. And over here, the LG G7 is charging from the USB-A quick charge port and is fast charging. The Galaxy Note 9 is charging from the 15 watt USB-C port. It is standard charging. And the Galaxy A51 is charging from the standard USB-A port, and it is also standard charging. And so yeah, the charging ports are decent. The only setback is that 60 watt USB-C power delivery port, which should be a 100 watt port in my opinion, because a lot other power stations are starting to use 100 watt USB-C ports, and that's mainly starting to become the standard at this point now. But yeah, charging is pretty good. You're gonna be able to charge a decent amount of devices. As you can see, you can charge 4 devices at the same time, and fast charge 2 of them if you have compatible devices. And as you can see, the output is currently 46 watts. It fluctuates, and that is the estimated time remaining. And yeah, let's just get into testing out the AC outlets right here. Let me get a few appliances together and start testing out those. Alright everyone, so I've still got the devices charging, which includes the 3 phones and the laptop, but I also connected these 2 tower fans right here that are running on their level 3 setting, which is their highest setting. And so yeah, that's connected to the AC outlets. We've currently got a 126 watt output. Currently got a 1.8 hour runtime for the power station, And yeah, this just to show that you can power appliances and charge devices at the same time. And you know, this is where the power station excels at the most, because you know, they're relatively low watt appliances that you can run for a few hours. If the devices weren't charging from the charging ports, that runtime would increase pretty drastically. And actually, let's just go and test that out real quick. Let me pull out the charging ports from here. So yeah, as you can see, output fell right there, and that runtime increased quite a bit. And if the power station was charged all the way, you would get probably about a few more hours on that runtime. And yeah, powering 2 tower fans is no problem for this power station, mainly what the power station was built for in the first place. And let's just go and test out a few other appliances as well. Alright everyone, so for this test I do have a crock pot connected to the power station. Currently have it on high, and yeah, this is a pretty good example of pushing the power station to its limits. Currently getting a 226 watt output from the crock pot alone. I do also have the fan connected, but it's not on yet. I'm going to turn it on in just a second. But yeah, I mean, with a 225 watt output, you're probably going to be looking at about a 1.5 hour runtime for the power station if you have the capacity topped off at 100%. This power station will last about 1.5 hours with the crock pot connected. And just turning on the fan, let's go ahead and see how the wattage jumps. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at about a 1 hour runtime for the power station right now with the 73% capacity remaining. And yeah, just jumped to about 260 watts right there, about a 0.8 hour runtime. But still not too bad, considering what you're able to do if you want to keep food warm outside and also have a fan running outside. You can do that with this power station, even with a 1.5 hour runtime, or even a 2 hour runtime. I think this power station will do well. And yeah, that is pretty good. Let's just go ahead and start testing out other appliances as well. Alright, and just back with a electric can opener. We're just going to plug it into the power station. Still got the crock pot connected and running. And so just gotta go. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Alright, yeah, so I mean, if you're going camping, if you're on a road trip and you've got canned food, you can use an electric can opener with the power station. Works perfectly. Alright, let's move on to another appliance. Alright everyone, so just here powering a 32-inch Samsung TV. And I've also got this fan turned on, connected to the power station. And so we got a 90 watt output along with a 2 hour runtime with the power station at 62%. And yeah, for a power station like this, you just have to think small appliances, low wattage appliances. And you know, this is for consumers that want a power station that isn't too large, isn't too heavy, so you don't have to look around like a 50-pound power station that would be pretty unrealistic to actually hold for a long duration. And yeah, this is a pretty neat way to use the power station. Even if you turn off the fan right over here, the output does become about 60 watts, I'd say, and you gain, wow, just like 1 hour, just like that, with a 60 watt output, and the TV is still being powered perfectly. And let me just go ahead and grab a Nikon charger just to test out with the AC outlet. Okay, so for this test, I do have a Nikon battery charger connected to the power station. We've currently got an output of about 60 watts, 65 watts, I mean. And yeah, so I mean, this would be useful in the event of a photo shoot, in case you want to charge a battery up while you're doing a photo shoot. You can have this power station off to the side, and yeah, even with the TV running, you're still getting about 2.7 hours of runtime. And this is what the power station is meant for, mainly, you know, low wattage, but you still get a pretty good runtime. And yeah, let's just go and check out how the recharging for the power station works at the back. Yeah, let me just go and get the AC charger to test out the AC recharging. Alright everybody, so I've currently got the EVO power station recharging from the DC input port using the AC charging brick. And so the DC input alone recharges the power station at 80 watts. Pretty decent, but going from 0 to 100 with a 80 watt input speed, you're going to be looking at about a 3.5 hour recharge time. And that's pretty slow for the AC charger alone. But the good news is, and something that I forgot to mention, is that you can use the 60 watt USB-C power delivery port as the input port. As you can see, it says right there, in and out. You can use it as an input port to recharge the power station. And you can use the AC charger and a USB-C wall charger. And currently I've got a U-Green power delivery wall charger plugged into the outlet right there. You can use them both simultaneously. So we're gonna go from an 80 watt, oh boy, plug that in. Yeah, then we're gonna go up to about like 140 watts. Let's just wait and see. Yeah, 140 watts. So going from 0 to 100 with a 140 watt input speed, you're looking at about only 2 hours of recharge time. And yeah, I mean, currently in this case, you're looking about an hour, which is pretty good with a 62% battery currently. And yeah, dual charging for a power station is always welcome for a faster recharge rate. It's something I definitely support more power stations use. Yeah, let's just go ahead and test out the solar recharging as well. And let me show you guys the Fanttik 100 watt solar panel to show if it's really worth getting or not, and see how it performs. Alright you guys, so this is the Fanttik EVO Solar 100 solar panel. And so what's included in the box is the solar panel right here, of course, but you also get this solar cable right here. And so this end of the cable is going to connect into the solar panel, and this is the Anderson connector that you can connect directly into the power station, into the EVO 300 power station, because that power station does have a Anderson input port. But also the great thing about this solar panel is that it comes with this 4 connector adapter. And so you can connect this adapter to this main cable, and just like that you have 4 other connectors that you can use with a wide range of power stations. And yeah, so I mean, the solar panel just isn't just for recharging the Fanttik EVO 300 power station, but you can also use it to recharge other types of power stations that use these connectors, which is great. And you also get this carrying pouch that can be used to carry these cables or any other accessories that you may have. Has a zipper right there. Yeah, pretty neat carrying pouch. The solar panel does have a manual. I can't find the manual right now, you guys, but yeah, it does come with a manual. And let's just go and take a closer look at the solar panel itself. All right, so taking a look at the Fanttik solar panel, it does have these kickstands that are pretty high quality because of these 2 support structures here at the bottom. You know, they prevent the kickstand from wobbling around and moving the solar panel. Yeah, you know, it just helps to stay in place. And also, it's magnetic. It has these magnets right there. So when you put it down like that, the kickstand just attaches to the body of the solar panel. It doesn't move around because you can just grab it by the handle, and you know, you can walk a lot more easier with the panel folded in, and the kickstands are just, you know, attached to the body. Makes portability less cumbersome. And yeah, as you saw, this panel also does have this large handle at the top. And just sliding it around right over here, this is the port that you would connect this connector into, and that gives you the ability to actually use the panel then. Just one port from the panel has this covering as well. And oh right, that's how you open it. Yeah, so it opens up right from here. Just, oh yeah, another thing is that the panel is magnetically closed, so when you go like that, the magnets shut it in, and so it doesn't open up until like you put force to open it up, which is a pretty nice touch. And I do like the use of magnets in this case because it keeps everything together when you're not using the panel. And yeah, it's a bifold panel that just opens up just like that with a 100 watt output. Pretty neat. And we're just gonna go outside to test it out. All right, everyone, so just outside with the solar panel recharging the power station. Got my cats over here, one of them over there. And so it is a cloudy day, and I didn't want to wait about 5 more days for the sun to come out because it is going to be cloudy over here in Northern Virginia. So yeah, this isn't the max capabilities of the panel because of the cloud coverage. And so I've got a 25 watt recharge speed going on right now, and a 5.4 hour recharge time. I'm not too sure if you can see that. Not too sure if it's being picked up by the camera,
But yeah, I mean, this is obviously not a good test for the panel, but like I said, I really didn't want to wait that long to get this video out. And on a sunny day, this panel would get about 75 watts, 80 watts to recharge the power station if it were getting full sun exposure. And so yeah, and that is the cable connected to the panel right there. And I've currently got the connector connected into the Anderson input port at the back of the power station. And yeah, once again, sorry about not being able to film this with a full sunlight exposure on the panels. Yeah, I just wanted to get this video out, honestly. And yeah, that's the solar recharging.
All right, and just covering the build quality of the Fanttik EVO 300 power station. The build quality is solid. I couldn't find any like flimsy parts or like something that like felt weak. The handle is especially really well built, and just like moving it around like this, just like, you know, just being free to move it around as you want. I can't even hear anything that's moving within the power station or outside of the unit. It just has a really nice build to it. They did a great job building this power station with its design. As I say with all power station reviews, don't drop this unit, don't expose it to water, because both of those things will damage the unit. But just in terms of overall build quality, like using the power station as normal, this unit is just really well built. And I'm impressed, really, from a company like Fanttik. This is their first power station. They did a great job designing the build quality of it. And yeah, that is the review for the Fanttik EVO 300 power station. Down in the description below, I will have a link to the product page for this power station, and I will also have a link to the review article for this EVO 300 power station in case you want to read a review article for the unit. And yeah, that's about it. I will see you guys on the next review. All right. Have a nice day. Goodbye.